Sonic's the name.
Alright, it's 2 in the fucking morning. Really doubt anybody's going to come in and watch this stream. If they do, what's up? How you doing? If not, I don't really care. I'm just, fucking, after work, I was just tired and I went to sleep at like, it's Friday, so we get off a little early. I went to sleep at like 4 o'clock. Then it started like storming outside. I just kept sleeping. And I didn't wake up until about like 12:30 a.m. So, I'm wide awake, I'm bored, I'm gonna go live, see who joins me, and just play League of Legends, because I ain't got shit else to do. I'm also, yeah, alright, it's working. I was just assuming that my mic and shit was working, I didn't even check. What's up, man? I wasn't expecting, like, really anybody to join. I'm sure a few people will, but I just got done watching an AP show. I also, when I got off work at about 4 p.m., I fell asleep, and then it was, like, all raining and storming, and I just stayed asleep until about 12:30, so now I'm just up. I have nothing else to do but play some League of Legends. I know over in Upside Down Land, it's like, you know, afternoon or some shit, right? Oh, right on. Yeah, so about the time I fell asleep after work. I was really surprised to hear about Trippy Poop. I don't know, from what I understand, he had a seizure and caused him to hit the ground and crack his skull, and now he's in the hospital, so we just raised almost $1,000 for his bills on AP stream. Which aren't going to cover it, but hopefully where he's at has a good program for people that can't afford to pay their hospital bills. What's up, some guy? Explaining to you like I explained to Outlaw. I just, I slept from about like 4 p.m. to midnight, which, you know, I've done before, but it's pretty rare. So now I'm just awake with nothing to do, so I said, fuck it. See if I remember how to use OBS and stream some League of Legends. It has been forever since I've had the Frog Avatar. This is a really, really fucking old OBS setup, but I didn't want to bother making a new one. I've said a billion times, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't really stream. Like, I do my shit on iRate's channel for a reason. Though I think bringing back the Frog Avatar, I think that's cool, because now that the whole, you know, Pepe thing is kind of retreated, it's cool again. But yeah, the whole Trippy thing with him having a seizure and being in the hospital, that shocked me. I was trying to ask AP if he had a direct line to where Trippy is and what hospital he's at. And that reminds me why, and I think there's some people that have it, but that's why I like people like Monkey and Tom P. They have my real name and contact info. They're also not crazy people. Like, sometimes I won't be on the internet at all. Like, I won't be on Discord or anything or Twitter for like 4 days at a time. Well, like, internet people are weird, right? 4 days in internet time, it's like, holy shit, he hasn't been around. Did he die or something? And the answer is no. I just had other shit to do and wasn't online. Like, it's kind of amazing how, especially like when I was playing World of Warcraft, my World of Warcraft guild, if I didn't log on for 4 days, they would think something terrible happened to me. Some of my best friends in real life, I won't talk to for like a month at a time. And when we talk, like, at no point was anybody ever fucking worried.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, there's a lot of motherfuckers in my life I don't like see for like 6, 8, 10 months.
What's up, Tom?
What up, my nigga? If you want to find out like extra information about Trippy, Mad Metal Man and Hitsugi are in contact with his mom.
Gotcha. That's cool. I just wanted to maybe like be able to mail him a card or something, just being like, yeah, no, like he said he's in a coma. Is he still in a coma?
Not like, all right, so like I got some shitty information from, a reliable source, which is terrible. That happens sometimes, though. You know how that one works,
Yep.
right? Apparently they're keeping him sedated because every time he wakes up, he starts flipping the fuck out.
Oh, so they can't get him to stop seizing.
Not, well, they don't want him to hurt himself. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking pulling tubes out or whatever, because they don't know what causes seizures and shit. That's the newest information I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had some guy on that. It's funny enough is he's one of your subs that just hasn't joined one of my streams because I don't really do them on my channel anymore.
I don't do streams either. I'll be honest, man. Like I've been so fucking just busy with life in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean I do my thing with Irate on Saturdays, and even then, like we don't hold ourselves to do that every week.
I feel you. That's kind of my mentality as far as shit's really concerned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've talked about it before. It's really hard, especially in the modern era of YouTube, to get to feel like we really need to keep a schedule because there's no like future monetary gain for guys like us.
Yeah,
like we want to talk about real shit, and YouTube doesn't like that.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mentality is. It was like I'm not getting paid for any of this, and like my subs go up. You know what I mean? Like I'm at like 2,630 subs or some bullshit on my channel, right? But like,
yeah, the thing is you were well on your way to like 10,000 subs easily until another YouTube apocalypse happened.
Yeah, and I got fucking banged hard.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know what I mean? Like now it's kind of like, I feel like what I'm doing right now, like I told Game this the other day, like I'm doing like political cartography, right? I'm kind of just like, here, I'm laying out a roadmap for the rest of y'all motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like I know like a lot of people watch my shit, you know what I mean, that are kind of like bigger motherfuckers is like, here, so you can understand what's going on. So when your message gets out there, you can fucking have the proper information. And that's what it is, you know? And not only that, like I don't like doing cheap shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate doing like, me and Ryan were talking about this because Ryan's like, there's a reason I stopped like covering like the Young Turks and fucking all that other shit. He said because it's basically just rage porn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like half of YouTube. Did you see like some like the whole Sam Cedar Steven Crowder thing? It was like that whole debacle just made me think, yo, it's not even that much different than like the smaller YouTube communities. Even big people like fucking Steven Crowder, it's the same grift.
Sorry, man. I'm at work. I'm just finishing up. Like I'm just getting done. Like I just got back to the real yard. Yo, I went to the ocean and the mountains of West Virginia today. Yo.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Are you gonna hop off for a little bit? You gonna come back on if I'm still here?
No. Fucking, I'm just parking this bitch and heading back to my car. And I mean,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm at the rail yard right now. I had to like check this trailer into the gate. Like I was sitting there not doing shit for like 10 minutes waiting in line. I was like, holler at yourself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna holler at you while I finish this up, and then I just gotta drive across the street over to the shop, get my car, and head back to the crib.
Oh my god, a wild Jagan appeared in the chat.
Oh my god, fucking Jagan, what up, nigga? You get that fucking house cleaned up?
Yeah, Jagan, you're more than we're in the Knights Discord. You're more than welcome to hop in and catch up. I know it's super fucking late, but like I said, for me, it's just whatever.
Yeah, these are normal hours for me, man. You know what I mean? This is my like fucking 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I know. You've been grinding hard, you motherfucker. I was just talking about you. Somebody was like, Tom P wants everybody to buy his 200 kids Power Wheels, and I was like, I have no sympathy for Tom P and his kids. I told him to get snipped a long time ago.
I've been grinding my dick off, like legit. Here's how hard I've been grinding. Right? I've been grinding so hard that my credit score is now like 680. Right?
For an Appalachian, that should be impossible. Like, I didn't think you guys were even allowed to get above like 550.
I feel you. Like, that was my mentality, right? I was like, I didn't think they would ever like let me do anything, and now it's like I can buy a house, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that's my plan. Is I'm gonna try and buy a house.
Like, you're not gonna get a good interest rate, but yeah.
It's not gonna be terrible. And I'm gonna go with one of them like FHA loans and shit.
That's true. You're actually not that far behind me. Last time I logged into my bank, which has like the composite score, I was at like 740.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how hard I've been grinding. Like, I've been paying everything off. You know what I mean? Like, actually, I bought a fucking $19,000 automobile.
I actually don't understand my credit score. I haven't taken out any new credit. In fact, it's kind of been the opposite. All I do is every month I put all of my expenses on a 2% cashback credit card and I pay it back.
Like, you know how much, you know what my interest rate is on my fucking credit card? Like, yo, it's like 19.5%.
My interest rate's not great, but it doesn't matter because I pay it off every month. Michael Hatfield, what's up? Also, I don't know why you don't have a wrench. Give me a second. I'm in the middle of the game, so it's hard for me to give you a wrench right now, but I'll get you one.
Michael Hatfield?
Uh-huh. If you can give him a wrench, do it. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm driving. I can't do all that shit right now. Once I'm done driving. Jesus fucking Christ, they got this place all tore up. They're redoing the fucking pavement. There's like 4-inch fucking holes all over the goddamn place. Jet fucking yeah, like that's what I've been doing every month too. Is I've been like on the weeks where I have like, because all my fucking payments are like one day, right? They're like inside of like 4 days or so, right? So I have one check that I pay all my fucking bills on, right? So I'll be like completely the fuck out of money. Right, and like, so I just use my credit card for that week, and then the week after that, I'll just pay the credit card the fuck off.
I made a whole bunch of money off of AMC recently, so.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so I bought 35 shares at $9, but then so I sold them, and then at 66, I bought them all back at 45. I sold them again at 60. Bought them back again at like 54 and then sold them all again, so I made a pretty good chunk of change.
That's
but I got out. I'm done. I'm done playing the meme stop game with that one. Like, in a lot of ways, I probably just got lucky making that money.
I got out of everything, right? Other than like my long shot bets, you know what I'm saying? Right? Like, fucking, I'm still holding Shiba.
Oh my god, I'm lagging so. Okay.
Right? Like, I'm still holding Shiba and BitTorrent. Right? But other than that, I sold every fucking thing, right? Because everything collapsed, like, And I sold it like 4 days before everything collapsed. So I was like, ah, fuck it. You know what? I'm out. I'm cool. And I mean, I made some fucking money. I'm good right now. You know what I mean? That's kind of my mentality as far as shit's concerned. Because I made like fucking $4,000 off that Dogecoin joint.
Oh yeah, dude. So I was trying to put like a significant amount of money into Dogecoin. But the exchange I signed up for was Binance, and by the time they approved me, Dogecoin went from 0.05 cents per coin to 30 cents a coin, and I was like, well, at this point, it's not really worth it.
You should have been listening to me, nigga, because like, yo, legit, I got in at 8 cents, got out at 42, got back in at 17, rode that bitch to fucking 70.
Yeah, it just all had to do with the app I was using, and I didn't think it was going to take that long.
I use Robinhood to do it.
Yeah, I probably should have done that.
You know what I mean?
Because I saw the signs on the wall, right? Like, I knew that the 10 million people in fucking Wall Street bets that were buying Dogecoin, they were going to drive it up at least some. So there was going to be a money-making opportunity, and it's really easy to hedge your investment with stuff like that by selling like on the high points of the roller coaster, and then if you still want to have a position, you just buy back a little bit later.
Yeah, like my mentality is like I don't know, man. Like I don't like fucking like. Here's the thing, crypto isn't a fucking currency in anywhere but outside.
Or the black market.
Well, no, yeah. What I'm saying, like, because
no, it's not a currency. It's actually turned into a form of money. Like, no, they're very different.
It's not a money.
Well, because there's nothing backing it. It's weird.
No. Because every time you sell it, a taxable event happens. It's an asset.
Yeah, I have a real problem with crypto because I think ultimately it goes to zero, like in the future, right? It's not that I'm saying it's going to go to zero anytime soon, and people really misunderstand me. Like, it has value because people want it right now, and they want it for various reasons, right? Maybe you want it just to escape the dollar, and you're talking about selling it, and it's like an asset. So that's true if you don't know how to actually just get things directly into your crypto wallet. Which, you're supposed to report it. You're supposed to report it.
Yo, it's not that, right? It's not that. It's the fact that, like, all right, if you're using any crypto wallet in the United States, right, that's, you know, I mean, legal or whatever, like Binance or fucking Coinbase or any of these fucking, like, actual fucking, like, wallets that, you know what I mean, you would use as a normal individual. The problem is that every time you make a transaction and you make any fucking money on it or whatever the case is, they give you that 1099 at the end of the fucking year for that shit. You know what I mean? So a taxable event happens, whether you're trading it or whatever, because crypto isn't like stocks where you can just roll it into, like, you know what I mean, some other fucking crypto or whatever it is. It's kind of the deal. Every time you sell it, a taxable event happens.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? That's the biggest problem with crypto as a whole.
For a long time, they had a hard time doing that, but...
Well, you know, they forced everybody into this position at this point. You know what I mean? You know, so that's kind of where the mentality is, and that's why it's not a currency. And it won't be a currency until they stop fucking, you know what I mean, taxing it. You know, that's why I say it's not a currency. You know what I mean? Like, it won't be a currency until the government treats it as it being a currency. Or at least until they start treating it as it being stocks. You know what I mean? Because, like, the moment it becomes like a stock situation where, you know, like, if you're, like, this is the problem with, like, all these fucking retards who run around going, like, the wealthy people, blah, blah, blah. Well, like, the problem is, like, wealthy people are like, oh, they gained all this fucking net worth. And I'm like, well, no, they did, but on the same point, tomorrow that can disappear. Right?
Yeah,
Because if the fucking stock market crashes, they no longer gained any goddamn wealth.
I don't think there's any argument here that like neither of us are upset at the kinds of wealthy people that just got there by like making good decisions in life. It turns out it turns out that's most of them.
Yeah. You know, they took a risk. They fucking, you know what I mean, created the service or whatever it is. Now, I don't like anybody who made their money by, you know what I mean, corporate espionage or fucking creating or fucking shipping jobs overseas to manufacture for a cheaper fucking good. I don't think that's positive for the economy or society as a whole. You know what I mean?
I get it, but I disagree. Like, if you make something that... The problem is what you're doing is, like, in a free market, if you make something that's just more efficient and better, it should reallocate resources to do other things, and there's always other things people can do.
Yeah, but
now, with regulations and restrictions, with our corporatist system, there's a lot of problems that get created. Like, I don't have to explain to you, neither of us think we live in we all think we live in a corporatist system, right? It's much closer to a fascist economic system than it is a free market economic system.
You're not wrong, right?
And I mean that like fascism proper, like anybody that's actually read Mussolini, right? It's the kind of stuff they talked about, where they're just like, yeah, we have to have our economic powers and our state powers working together to promote the interest of the state, and at the same time that will coincide with promoting the interest of the economic powers that the state deems worthy.
Well, on top of that, you have, you know what I'm saying, the state standing here backing up these fucking companies internationally, right? And making it so that individuals inside of your country can't compete.
Michael Hatfield's talking about some guy that paid 10,000 bitcoins for a Papa John's pizza. Like, I would believe that if it happened in like 2009.
Yeah, that happened back in like 2013. That was like, you know, that was one of like the big stories, like fucking that they put out in like Forbes and some shit. You know what I mean? When Bitcoin hit 60,000, like fucking this guy fucking paid 10,000 Bitcoin for the Papa John's pizza back in 2013 or some shit because it was worth like 4 cents or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's one of those things where I look back and I'm thinking, man, like I really should have bought Bitcoin back in 2009. But knowing myself, yeah, you can't do it to yourself, because knowing myself, right, especially my economic situation in 2009. Let's say I spent $100 on Bitcoin and that turned into $1,000. I would have found an excuse to sell it at $1,000 to pay for like shit I was doing at the time, like flying out of country or out of town or something. So
rent, diapers,
yeah,
for the baby, some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel where you are. You know what I mean? Like I really do. Like it just, I mean, you can't do that to yourself, because like yo, you can't be like, man, I wish I would have bet on Google back in the day. You know, like, man, listen, you know, I used to work for Amazon, right? Like back in 2003, I worked for Amazon. You know what I mean? Like they're missed opportunities. Like we all had these crazy ass missed opportunities and shit. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's a hindsight is 20/20 type of thing, right?
Yeah, like because they were like, man, you're too good at this company, man. We'll move you up quick. And now look at these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I could have been a multi-billionaire by now on some shit. Gotta punch my dashboard, make my fucking dash lights work. I gotta figure that shit out. That and I gotta get the air conditioner fixed in this bitch. It's I was so mad last Friday. I came in and my fucking I came in last Friday I came back and I went to get my truck or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I get in and my fucking truck didn't fucking start. And I'm like, the fuck is going on? Because I like keep my headphones on, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm getting in and out of the truck, I didn't hear it. Apparently my air conditioner stayed on all fucking night and murdered my battery. And now it just won't shut off. So I had to like unplug the fucking fuse.
So I had to tell my team in League of Legends that we should try to close out. Wow. We're doing really well, but they're just kind of fucking around. Like, the way you lose whenever your team's really far ahead is you just fuck around and don't actually do anything, and the other team catches up.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I mean, you know me, I don't know shit about video games. Hell yes. Done at work. About 4 a.m. in the morning. I have been getting done at like 5 and 6 in the fucking morning and shit every night. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking murderers.
Work has actually been kind of chill for me lately. I did have a run-in with my boss, and I've told you I like my boss, but he's really OCD, and he also has a problem with, like, getting things in his head that are just kind of a perception that doesn't reflect the reality, right? And it's just because he hears about something or it affects him a lot. So he put something on my calendar for my attendance, which, like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why are you, like, I decided I was going to take, like, call in one personal day, right? Like, out of the blue. That was it. And a bunch of shit came up that day, so we put that on my calendar. And it was shit that I'd actually already gone over with my teammates that they should have been able to fucking figure out. And they were being fucking retarded about it. And pretending like they had no idea what to do. And basically none of it was my fault.
Yo, I was talking with TK Mao in the server, right, about this type of situation. Where, like, you know, I told him, because he's like, man, like, fucking my boss, you know what I'm saying? He wants me to work all weekend, and I want to take off on Sunday to go do something, da-da-da-da. And I was like, yo, look, man, legit. Bruh, just take the fucking day off.
No. I won this battle. So when we finally met, I documented all the days that, like, I had either taken off or left early. And it wasn't really that much. Like, I left early, like, 3 times, so it was, like, 2 hours in the last 60 days. And I missed 2 days, like, completely in the last 60 days. And I've been working for the company for 10 years. So, you have to understand, I have a lot of, I have a lot of, paid time off. So, like, and that was, the only thing he was right on, it was more than normal. And he agreed that, like, the issue here was less about, whether or not I missed too many days and more about how it affected him personally, because the rest of the team couldn't figure out what the fuck to do, even though I had it all documented. He said, he actually admitted that after, because he said, I'm going to document what I know, and then you're going to document what you know. We're going to make sure we line up, and we did. And he's just like, yeah, after looking, it's really not that bad. I almost canceled this meeting. So, in a way, that's why my boss is cool. He'll admit when he's wrong.
That's pimping. You know what I mean? You know, like, I don't have that problem. I'm an independent contractor, so, like, I just, like, I do whatever the fuck I want. I want to bitch off.
So the fucking worst is that, he misses more work than anybody on our team by a lot. Like, he had to get neck surgery, then he had kidney problems, and then he wanted to take a real vacation. Like, he's probably missed 3 months out of the last year. He just wasn't there. And guess who had to do his job and my own job? Me. So I even let him know, like, I was a little bit combative with him because I was like, this is unjustified. That's the last thing I fucking need is my boss like thinking that I'm trying to miss work just because I want to miss work. But I was just like, yeah, you of all people know, like, shit just happens sometimes.
Yeah, see, I don't fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I don't live in that world anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't, like, I'm so divorced from that fucking world. Like, I don't understand why people tolerate that shit. Legit. Like, yo, fuck that. You know what I mean? Yo, do your own fucking thing. Tell these motherfuckers that you can get. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much money to be made out here at this point. Like, fuck them. You know what I mean? If you ain't making like $150,000 a year at your fucking job, like, tell them to fuck off tomorrow and start your own shit. Shit. Like, yo, I'm cracking 6 figures this year. You know what I mean? That's my mentality. I'm gonna make 6,000 or fucking 6 figures this year. I'll make $100,000 this year, and I'm just like, yo, I don't have to listen to anybody. You know what I mean? So I'll feel bad for everybody else, but I don't. On the same point, I'm like, man, listen, I just don't have that politics shit at work. Like, legitimate, like, you know, they fucking made me, like, I got, what is it? Oh, I fucking tore into the one person in the office because they held my paycheck the 1 week because I hadn't signed up for fucking, like, their safety meeting thing that they were supposed to do, like, a couple weeks from then or whatever, right? And, like, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, look, if you ever hold on to my fucking paycheck again or something fucking stupid, you know what I mean? Like, yo, we're going to have real fucking problems. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure whether it's a dude or a chick, right? But I keep thinking it's a dude because, like, it doesn't look like a female. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm on my mentality, like, I'll punch you in the fucking face. You know what I mean? That's kind of what my mental was with these motherfuckers. And, like, so... Oh shit! Almost forgot my cigarettes and my fucking lighter. Fucking, like, they stood here and they held my paycheck for this thing, and then, like, when the safety meeting came up, right? It was on, like, I thought it was on a Sunday, and apparently it was on a Saturday, right? And, like, I just straight missed it all, like, completely. Like, I didn't. No, I mean, they hit me. Are you going to come to this meeting? What time is it? Like, it's like 2:30. I'm like. No. Yo, and I didn't hear nothing about it ever again. Not another word. I'm in high demand. You know what I mean? I'm a 1,000,000-mile safe driving individual.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I talked to you not too long ago, but I was like, it's a good time to be a trucker, right?
Yeah. Like, yeah, we're making bank. Life is good. I mean, I
don't know. Our company had the best fucking year in like the last 30 years. And what still sucks about that is they did a bunch of layoffs, which I did not agree with.
Not just maximizing the motherfucking, whatchamacallit.
I understand what they were going for with the layoffs, right? Like, they were trying to streamline kind of our management system because it was over bureaucratic, but what they ended up doing is people that were reporting under, like, certain people, like, positions that they let go of because they were just like, you know, this is just overcomplicating things. Like, I don't feel bad for, like, the directors, the people that were making that 6-figure income that had been with the company for a long time, and they ended up getting a 52-week severance package along with still getting their bonus for the year. And they're old enough and have enough money that they could probably retire if they didn't want to work. It's some of the people under them that are kind of in the position I am, where they're a professional making professional money, but they're not at a point in their life where they can just not work. So they're back on the job hunt. And while the severance is nice, like, you can't have a year gap, especially right now, whenever there's more jobs being offered than there are people accepting them.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't have it on your record. So, like, a good example is one of the people that got fired is, like, actually a really good friend of mine. Like, literally, we started 10 years ago. Well, he actually started a year before me, but I ended up sitting next to him as just a call center agent, making, you know, $14 an hour or whatever, which I thought was great 10 years ago. Like, I'm gonna be real honest with where I was in my life.
That was good money 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I was single, right? Like, I was single with no kids. I'm still single with no kids, but I was just like, damn, $14 an hour? Fuck it, I don't care if I have to listen to people's bullshit all day. Like, making decent money.
I remember 10 years ago, because that was like during the 2000, that was like right after the 2008 fucking financial crisis, right?
Yep.
They were hiring, they had all these fucking people like begging for these office jobs. I don't understand.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, you can go on, but I have a lot to say about this with my company.
You know, they had 20 fucking positions open, right? For what the hell was it? They had 20 positions open for. I'm trying to think here. What was it? For a call center for these people who give out like loans for colleges and shit, right? You know, what I mean, like that's what this job was for. It was like, I think it was called FIA. I think it was the name of the fucking agency, some shit like that, like the fucking Pennsylvania Higher Education fucking administration fucking nonsense. I have no idea. Anyway, right? So they had 20 of these positions open. They had fucking 10,000 people show up at that fucking door for the application in a fucking day, right? And it was a $10 an hour fucking job.
Yeah, no.
14 was back then.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what was going on at our company too. They were able to take advantage of the fact that so many people that like had a lot of skills were displaced because of the financial crash. That they were hiring people in that had backgrounds as like Microsoft developers, right? Database administrators and things like that. And they were able to hire them in as like tier 1 call center agents, paying them $14 an hour. And of course, what ended up happening is as soon as it like everything started to flip and it became an employer's market, those people went on to get better jobs, right? Like, for instance, my position that I have now, for a while they were only willing to offer $18 an hour for somebody that is proficient in coding in SQL, right? Think of that right now. Like, if you're proficient in coding anything, you make more than $18 an hour.
I feel you. Like they tried to do like 3 or 4 years. Actually, no. When I started driving truck 8 years ago, right? I swear to God, I had offers, and even I want to say like 4 years ago, I had offers as a truck driver to go drive a fucking tractor trailer for $18 an hour, straight time, no OT, right, in Jersey, on some nonsense. But that shit ain't like that no more.
Which is yeah, like what makes that even worse is because like $18 an hour in Jersey is basically $10 an hour in Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, it's literally half when you get into the Northeast because the prices of housing is, I mean, it's basically doubled, right? I've said a billion times, I live in a pretty decent apartment in a low crime suburb. What does that cost in the Northeast?
How many bedrooms? 1, 2?
Just one. One bedroom in a low crime suburb. And it's decent. It's got like a gym and a pool and stuff like that.
I'll be $1,200 a month.
I pay $7, so $700.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, in the city, right? I'm gonna tell you like this: in the city, they have like 2-bedroom fucking apartments, right? In the city, in the hood, right? Not in like nice areas. You know
Dude,
what I mean? In the city, in the hood. They have 2-bedroom fucking apartments going for like fucking $900 to $1,000 a month.
Yeah, no, it actually it's more than that. If you get further into the Northeast, like New York City, what does a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn cost you? It was. Here's
the problem. Here's the problem. You don't understand Brooklyn, right? Like there's Brooklyn, and then there's like fucking Brooklyn, right?
It's divided up. There's a section for the all the white hipsters, and there's a section for the ghetto people. Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, because you can still get an apartment in the ghetto for like $800-900 a month in the ghetto. Ghetto. You know what I mean? But like, you can't get a place around those hipsters for less than like $5,000-6,000 a month.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true now. So, God, dude. So, like, one of the first bands I was in, right? I had one of the dudes that was a guitar player. He had a sister that, like, she was pretty hot and she was super into me. But she lived in New York. And she was always like, you should come to New York, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, alright, like, I'll do it, right? Like, so I traveled to New York, went and hung out with her, like, we started hanging out. We eventually dated because she moved back to Kansas City, but that's kind of irrelevant because they lived in an apartment that was 2 bedrooms, but it was the size of my 1 bedroom, right? Like, everything was super compact. And what they said is it was like $1,600 a month to live there. And that was more than 10 years ago. That was more like 15 years ago. I think I was 22 or 23, and I'm 37 now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but they did work at the Hard Rock Cafe. Like, they were just 2 attractive girls living together. So I could see how that would, like, work out, because they made a lot of money working at the Hard Rock Cafe in Times Square.
Yeah, tips are ridiculous.
Yep.
Because, like, most of the tourists aren't from, like, other countries that don't tip. You know, I mean, they're from, like, fucking this country. People going to Times Square to go fucking, you know, take fucking photographs of the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building and all that bullshit.
Dude,
yeah, like,
New York,
like
have you been...
Right, cars, right? Have you noticed, like, all right, so the price of cars there, right, is nowhere near what it costs here.
I wouldn't even need a car if I lived in New York City.
Well, not New York. I mean, like, just in the Northeast in general, right? Like, the cost of a vehicle here is fucking insane.
So
I don't even know why it's so fucking expensive. Because of Cash or Clunkers, like, murdered all the fucking vehicles and shit. It's like the
I'm sure that has something to do with it, but I don't know. I'm just thinking about my New York City experience, and I was like, why would I ever need a car? Like, for $20, I was able to buy through Transit Pass, which covered for a month, which covered the bus and the subway system, and like, I was literally able to go anywhere in the city I wanted to.
Oh yeah, you can do the same thing
because they would be working and shit, and I was just like, they were like, all right, so here's the subway. Here's the train you need to get on, and like, they actually walked up and showed me the map and explained to me, all right, like, here's the one you have to do to get back to our apartment, because a lot of days, like, they were both working, right, so I was there for like a week and a half, and of course, both the girls would have to work, but I was just like, go around the city, and it was actually really amazing. Like, one of the coolest things about New York City, I would never want to live there, but it's a fun place to visit, is depending on where you get off on the subway, it's like you're going to a different world, right? Like, if you get off in Chinatown, that's a lot different than getting off in Times Square.
Yeah, I mean, I guess y'all don't have a Chinatown in Kansas City, do you?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, see, I don't know. See, it's just every Northeast city has like these little fucking like ghettos of places. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a Greek section, you have a fucking Chinese section.
Yeah. So what's amazing is I was in Times Square looking at the gift shop, and everything was expensive. And it was like somebody, it was the girl I was with was like, oh, you should go to Chinatown. You can get most of the same stuff. I mean, it's all knockoffs, but it's like, it's exponentially cheaper, and it was. But I bought a whole bunch of I Heart New York shirts to just give out to friends here. And even the one I like kept for myself, you put them in the dryer, they shrank to like 3 sizes smaller than what they were. And I was like, well, I bought them from Chinatown. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like here, your city, because I've been through your city, You know what I mean? I've been to your city.
I know.
I've been to like a lot of like.
And you had to fucking learn the hard way by actually trying it that Kansas City barbecue is superior to everywhere else in the country. But
yo, it is. It is. It's the best barbecue on the planet. Like legit. Like fucking hands down.
Where'd you go again? Because I actually heard some people talking about that place. I think. Do you remember the name of the joint?
No, I don't even remember the name of the fucking place, to be honest with you.
God, it wasn't even like one of the big names though in Kansas City. But I told you, if you're gonna have a barbecue joint in Kansas City, it has to be really good, or else it's gonna close down because there's so much good barbecue.
Yo, it's like that with pizza here. You know, I mean, legit, it's the same exact shit with pizza here. You know, I mean, like you have to have good pizza, you have to have good subs. Like, there's no choice. You know, I mean, like if your shit is garbage, like nobody goes there, and your fucking shit closes down. That's why like Pizza Hut, and Papa John's can't make a fucking inroads into most of these.
They're just like, we're not even gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, well, we already had that shit before. It's not that good. You know what I mean? Like every once in a while, I get a Pizza Hut pizza, like when I feel like shit. You know what I mean? Like when I'm sick. You know what I mean? Because like the grease will just like drag all that shit out of you.
I actually haven't had Pizza Hut in months, which is a good thing. But also, like, since everything started kind of opening back up, I just stopped ordering so many pizzas. I've lost about 20 pounds. I got literally like 100 to go, to be real honest, to be where I need to be.
Yeah, I got about 20 more myself to go to get where I need to be at. But fitness wise, I'm doing really well. You know what I mean? Like I ran 2 miles the other day, like running. I felt fucking really good about it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I haven't
run fucking 2 miles.
I haven't even gotten there yet. Like I'm at like, let's just walk around for a little bit. like I can. It's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, like I'm heavy, but like I never felt like I was like getting out of shape. And that's how it tricks you, right? Same thing probably happened to you. Like you don't realize it's happening. So like, yeah, I can run for a little bit. I won't really think about it. But then like you get to this point and you're just like, all right, I made it about 100 meters and I'm dying.
Yeah, like you fucking. Like the ones that fuck me up legitimately is like, you know, when you're standing there and you're just trying to pick up your kids and like you fucking bend down to pick it up, you go down and pick your kid up, you go move up, you stand up, and you're like, oh my god, my back, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, fucking shit sucks. Like fuck that. Like you never really notice how out of shape you're fucking getting until like you're there.
Man, that should be a stream that both of us should do and agree to. Where we're like, COVID's over, no excuse. And we just talk about like the kind of exercises you can do at like every level of fitness, right? Like if you're completely out of shape, you don't need to fucking just go out there and start lifting weights and stuff immediately. What you need to do is change your diet a little bit and just go out there and like walk for 15 minutes, right? You do that for 15 minutes a day, adjust your diet. Before you know it, in 2 weeks, just like I was talking about, like lost about 20 pounds. Not to mention that, like, I can go, like, just do stuff. I can go to places, not wear a mask. They're just open now. It makes a big difference on what you do just for regular activity. Then, like, you know, as you progress, man, you just move up.
Well,
move up in the line. All of a sudden, get to weights.
Like, summertime, like, I wait all year for fucking summer because I go fishing and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I get the fuck outdoors. You know, and that's like one of my big ways I've always burned weight in the summertime is like just being out in the river and walking to get to fishing spots, or you know, I mean, going in there with my mouth is water and looking at this fucking T-bone I just cooked, fucking slammed it. But yeah, like, and that's the other part of it is that fucking diet. Jesus fucking Christ, that fucking your diet is so important. Motherfuckers don't know how much carbs they really eat on a regular basis until you fucking start really measuring it and looking at it.
Yeah, amazingly enough, I'd been pretty good about like carbs in general. Like, granted, like I admit, like I would order a pizza or whatever. My biggest thing was just like I'll eat meat and cheese till the end of fucking time, right? Like no carbs involved, and that's fine. But you got to do it with like your balance. At the end of the day, like what's gonna make you lose weight and be healthy, no matter what kind of diet you're on, is burning more calories than you consume. I just think hollow carbs are the worst because they're the easiest to just forget that you ate them and not use them.
I'll tell you what. One I have a major issue with, especially like driving at night in the road, is like tortilla chips. Right. Like I just go get me a bag of tortilla chips and just fuck them up all night long.
Well, and amazingly enough, like as far as all chips go with carbs, tortilla chips have the least.
That's why.
And it's still a lot.
Yeah, it's still a lot, but like it's not as much as like potato chips. Fucking horrible food.
Yeah, I don't need a whole lot of potato chips. I will though. Depending on the day, like I'll go buy like the $1 size of Cheetos because they're delicious. Not to mention that, but like, do you ever get this like craving? Maybe it's just me, but like sometimes I get a craving where I just need to eat something really salty.
Yeah, I get that all the fuck. That's what that fucking tortilla chip shit's about. I need some fucking salt. You know what I mean? I need something. You know what I mean? Like the fucking. I don't know. It's weird.
Like I've actually like I have had that phenomenon, and like I mean I know this sounds ridiculous, but like there'd be like a soy packet left over because I just put all my like leftover packets into the fridge after I order out, and I would just like drink a soy sauce packet, and be like, wow, that made me feel much better just because I had the salt. I don't know. That might be like a sodium deficiency thing. I kind of wonder about that.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to my fucking computer, right? So I can take this microphone out of my goddamn ear, this headphone out of my ear.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna start another match while you do that.
Okay.
I should have just went live on Peanwood's channel.
We could. It's like 4:30 in the fucking morning.
Yeah, it's 3:30 here. No, like I don't want to do it now, but like what I should do from now on is if I'm just randomly going live super late playing games, I should just title it "Excel's Playing Games" and go live on your channel. Like at this point, like what would it hurt? Like it could only help you, and it doesn't really matter how much it helps you because Susan hates us.
You're not wrong. Fucking
Dude.
Yo, I've been doing books on my channel. Like fucking like I've been trying to find a good fucking a TTS and shit. You know what I mean? Which is really difficult. I think I'm gonna have to pay for one or something. But like I've been doing like fucking audiobooks on my fucking channel and shit, on like articles and stuff from Curtis Yarvin. Cause like have you read a lot of his shit?
Nope.
You really should. Like legit. You really should. Or at least listen to it.
Michael Hatfield saying is our cravings randomly for salty things is an iodine or sodium deficiency. Don't doubt it. And it probably doesn't get detected because we actually fulfill those cravings when they happen. I go to the doctor. I get blood work done every 6 months.
For what?
It's just because I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and that's how my doctor likes to do things. I mean, I don't now. Like, part of it's the medication, but
Well, like, here's the thing: is like I don't have those issues, right? Like, I don't have cholesterol or blood pressure issues or anything like that. You know what I mean? But like, what I do have, the fucking diabetes is a motherfucker. You know?
yeah, I don't have the beatus yet, but if I don't take my blood pressure medication, it sits around like 150/90. If I do take it, it sits around 125/70 something. So
Yeah, my normal resting rate's like 100. You know what I mean?
100 over what?
100 over like, I'll say 60.
That's actually low blood pressure technically, but good for you.
Well, I live at 100 all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I live at like 11. Like my life is always living there at 11. So, you know, I don't hold anything the fuck inside of me. And I'm a psychopath, so I don't feel bad about things. So, you know.
You're not a psychopath.
But yeah, fucking, like, yo, you should, like, legit, like when you're working or some shit, like, yo, they have this fucking channel called Skeptical Waves, right? And he does like audio, he does like TTS. It's not a bad fucking TTS if you could tolerate it, you know what I mean? Of different books and different like fucking articles and essays and shit. Super fucking interesting. Like a really good how do I put this? Like, it's like a really good fucking reference for shit. You know what I mean? Like Curtis Yarvin's probably my favorite author right now of like everybody I read. You know what I mean? Him, Peter Zehan. Actually, I downloaded a book on Kindle about the managerial revolution, which I never read because.
Real quick, Michael Hatfield said, "Thanks for the rich," and I say no problem because this is not a real channel. I would have given it to you anyway, but it's not a real channel. Like I don't do anything on this. I'm just bored. Like I told you, like I fell asleep right after I got off of work, and because it was like rainy and stormy, and it just dark, right? Like I stayed asleep until 12:30, and God, like when I get off of here, I'm gonna try my hardest to go to sleep. I've been drinking a little bit. All I had is a half a pint of Sailor Jerry, and it's almost gone.
See, yeah, I don't drink either. That's another reason probably why my blood pressure stays really well under control. Like I don't drink. I don't fucking do any drugs. I never did any drugs. You know what I mean? Other than like fucking smoked a lot of weed when I was a kid. You know.
I don't know, with the drinking. With the drinking, I get surprised every 6 months when I have to get blood tests done, as if like to do like a urine test or whatever, and they test your kidney and liver function, and they're just like, it's fine.
Yeah, that shit takes a long time to catch up to you.
There's gonna be the day, like I've said it to Irate a billion times too. Like there's gonna be the day where it's gonna catch up to me. I realize, so like I've never been like Ed, where I have to wake up and drink, right? Like, it's not every night, but, like, on nights where I do drink, like, yeah, I'm gonna drink, like, half a fifth. But I'm gonna do that in the night, and then I'm not gonna drink the next day, most likely. Or even if I do, like, I'm not drinking, like, during the day when I wake up and I'm running around. My dad actually could drink me under the fucking table, and he is 65. Like, he still drinks like 2/3 of a fifth every day. He drinks it throughout the day.
Like I can outdrink my dad any day of the week, right? But I think he has cirrhosis so bad that he has no idea. You know what I mean? Like fucking, because his tolerance has gone way down. That means 140 pounds. But I'm reading right now James Burnham's The Managerial Revolutions, What's Happening in the World.
Yeah, funny enough, that's part of it. Like, I'm pretty heavy, and amazingly enough, as far as your liver is concerned, the amount of alcohol you can tolerate without doing liver damage is related to your size because of your blood volume. So, it's really about the amount of alcohol that is going through your liver at any given time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it'll give me the beatus.
Yo, it's a man. Listen, like as long as you don't eat like an American, you're okay.
Oh, I do.
That's a secret. Don't eat. That's what I was telling my brother. Like, don't eat like an American, right? Like, don't eat fucking like Hungry Man dinners and I mean fucking super prepared foods and shit. Stuff that's like really, really processed. That's what like that and Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is fucking horrible for you.
Yeah, I don't drink. The longest time. I have not drank sweetened sodas. Like, if I want one, I'll drink diet. And a lot of people, like, I go back to, remember that Jack Black skit with the drive-thru where he's like, talking about he's eating a whole bunch of shit that's bad for him, but he wants a Diet Coke. And I was like, you don't get it. Like, I'm just not accustomed to that much sugar concentrated into a drink. Like, I've gotten myself out of that habit. Like, I'll either drink water or I'll drink Diet. And I don't even drink a lot of Diet, right? Like, it's rare that I even try to bother with a Diet Coke.
Yeah, I never liked soda, right? Like, soda was a substitute for iced tea, right? Iced tea is the only thing that I ever drank other than, like, water and beer. You know what I mean? And now it's kind of like water, and I'll do, like, a fucking, like a 2-liter thing of fucking orange juice or whatever. You know what I mean? Once a week. Because, like, orange juice is orange juice. Fucking need vitamin C and shit. And even then, I'll do, like, grapes, bananas, apples throughout the fucking day, and that type of shit. Like, I've been taking this shit, like, fucking rather seriously. Like, nigga, I ain't gonna die. Like, all these motherfuckers out here on YouTube, like, every fucking, like, 6 months and somebody's fucking dying or having a heart attack.
Oh my god, dude. I was just talking, like, I was on AP streams talking to him. You were there for a bit. What's going on with Trippy? Like, it's still just... That's why I'm like, yo, I've given my personal information to a few people, and there's a reason for it. Like, if it does happen to me, I want people to know.
I feel you. That's kind of my mental. Like, you have my information, Ace has my information, Freedom has my information. That's about it, to be honest with you. Ed has my information. And I have Ed's number as well, you know what I mean? But, like, in case something bad happens to me, you know what I mean? Fucking, gather up some money and send it to my fucking family or whatever, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But, like, Mad Dog fucked me up. Like, a lot of people are like, man, bro, Mad Dog didn't even like you like that. I'm like, shut up, nigga. You don't know how to fucking often you talk all the time.
That shocked the shit out of me.
That one fucked.
I didn't even realize there was something wrong with him.
I did.
The worst part is like, well, you did. I didn't. The worst part is like, all he had to do is... I mean, I know guys don't like doing this, but all he had to do is go to the hospital earlier. If he would have just got attention a little bit earlier, he would have been fine.
Well, let me put it like this. All he had to do was stop fucking drinking. That was the end result of all those White Claws that he was killing on a daily basis.
Well, even then, like, the drinking, yeah, I mean, that was part of what caused the problem, but it could have been solved with a visit to the hospital or a doctor to let him know, hey, this is what's going on, and we can fix this. It was 100% fixable. That's really what I'm getting at.
It was 100% preventable. Right? And I told him this like 1,000 times. Like, bro, you need to quit fucking drinking. Get up and do something. Get out of the fucking house. Get a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something that you fucking like. You know what I mean? Stop sitting, on your fucking ass in front of the computer and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be a YouTube star. You know what I mean? I've accepted that fact. You've accepted that fact. We've all accepted this fact that we're not gonna be big on YouTube or any other platform because, fucking they hate us, right?
Yeah.
I'm not restarting my fucking channel, you know what I mean?
Susan wants nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
Like, what really got me is the appeal on that video you did on the New Zealand shooting. And you posted a little bit about it, and that's how you lost your monetization 4 days after you got it. And every situation like that before, like, it was widely publicized on mainstream media and YouTube, right? All you did was try to get on top of it. You had no reason to believe that was going to get you banned. Especially because you weren't showing him actually, like, killing the people. You were just showing his, like, initial words as to what happened. And they said you glorified violence whenever you condemned it the entire time.
Yeah.
Like the whole video, you were just like, I condemn this.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that. Like, you know, like fucking, like I didn't even show him like doing anything other than driving. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yep.
This is a fucking psychopath. You know what I mean? This is a fucking terrible human being. Like, and this is like one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And they were like, "Oh, we don't want that fucking shown because, like, yo."
Yeah, the problem was is that you had the nuanced opinion of like, we need to just stop saying like, "Oh, fuck you, you fucking racist," right? You said like, we need to realize that these people have legitimate concerns, or they have concerns, and address them like they're legitimate. You know, even if they're not, right? We need to have the conversation.
What I said was that censorship, you know what I'm saying, leads to this type of fucking radicalization. Right? When you leave nobody the opportunity to stand here and redress their grievances, you know what I mean? When you leave nobody any option but violence, they're going to fucking become violent. It's a fucking basic premise. You know what I mean? When you leave out every other option on the fucking table, you know what I mean, and don't allow these people to become socialized, you know what I mean? Like, what you're doing is you're creating a situation where a motherfucker is gonna end up becoming violent. You know, it's not like that's crazy out of the realm of, you know what I'm saying, normalcy and shit, but
it's exactly what you would expect.
Like, I know that if I don't allow an individual to talk, and I don't allow an individual, you know what I'm saying, address what they feel, or let them fucking express themselves and shit or whatever. You know what I mean? I know that all they're going to end up doing is becoming fucking violent because they don't have any other option.
Michael Hatfield's watching. I'm sorry I'm being behind with watching the chat. I'm not a YouTuber, so I really suck at this. He's asking if Tricky Poop had a heart attack or something. No. He had a seizure, and I think that he fell down and also had cranial damage from the fall. That's what I understand from the few people I've talked to. And he's in the hospital. I don't think he's in a coma anymore. I could be wrong.
Nah, from what I understand, they have him heavily sedated. Right.
Yeah, it's because he has a seizure every time he wakes up, right?
It's not because he has a seizure. It's because like he flips the fuck out every time he wakes up. Like he wakes up and he's fucking like losing his fucking shit. He's like, you know, fucking ripping shit out of his arms and being all crazy, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because he doesn't like know what the fuck is going on. Like he popped his head. You know what I mean? Like apparently, they have a plastic surgeon on the way to help fix his eyeball. He broke his nose and shattered his orbital bone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's more info than I have, but
I'm talking to fucking Hitsuki and fucking Mad Metal Man. You know what I mean? They're in contact with his mom directly. You know what I mean? Because like the first time I heard about anything was from somebody the fuck else altogether. You know what I mean? Fucking, he had a seizure, and when he fell, he busted his nose and broke his lower orbital eye. He's combative and confused when he wakes up, which is why they've been keeping him sedated. And they have a plastic surgery coming in to work on his face, but they still seem to be confused as the cause of it all. So that's what's going on. That's the information that I have at the moment. So, anyway, right? You want to have a real conversation about anything? You want to fucking just sit here and bullshit?
I can have real conversations. I am playing a match of League of Legends again. I didn't realize you were gonna come back so fast. I didn't understand.
I was just gonna switch over to my computer. Like I was literally sitting here.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, just like I had my phone in my hand. I was at the computer. I had the button mouse in my hand. My other hand, I was like, I'm just gonna switch over. I'll be cool. Get out of here. Click on that. Good to go. I mean, plug my fucking, headphones in so I can.
Joshua Dimmers is like, oh my god, is that a Penoid? I just got out of bed and saw this was live. Yep, that's what's going on.
Oh shit. Fucking, yeah, man, we're just chilling, hanging the fuck out. Michael Hatfield, I have no idea what the fuck's up. I have no idea. If that stream was today, maybe. I don't know. I understand it happened like this morning, maybe. Because I was awoken to messages and phone calls in Discord from, people, going, Tom, do you hear what's going on? So I was like, no. I have not heard anything yet. I have just woken up. You know what I mean? I gotta get my car inspected today. Got an appointment at noon. Spend some time with my fucking kid. Hang out. I go to my brother's tomorrow. It's his birthday. It was his birthday this week. So, I got him some steaks. We're gonna do them out in the grill.
Yeah, I'm taking my nephews to buy fireworks tomorrow.
Oh, pimping. That's right. 4th of July is coming up, ain't it?
Yep, everything I heard is that the warehouses are going to be out of shit if you don't buy early this year.
I'll be honest, man. Like, this is Pennsylvania, and we cannot own anything other than like sparklers and snakes. So it doesn't fucking matter.
So you don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, the place I go has like 1,000-gram fireworks packages, so I usually spend about $500 every 4th of July.
Yeah, I got other shit to spend money on. Like legit. I got other things.
I do too, but I do it for the kids. Because when I was a kid, it was the same. Like, there was always somebody like me that bought way too much money on fireworks and let's set it all off. So
I didn't have,
and it made for a great 4th of July.
Nah, we went to like the fireworks or whatever downtown or fucking up north and fucking Gratz. Actually, like we usually went to the riverfront to go watch fucking fireworks every year. Or Coons Park, one of the two. Like, we go like fucking sit in mom's fucking hood and watch them or whatever. I had one year where I had my boat. We went out in the river and watched them as they fucking came down on top of us. That shit was fucking awesome. But I like going up to fucking Gratz, which is up north in like the middle of the coal regions. And they usually have like the best fucking fireworks. Just fucking amazing. Like, and on top of that, when I was a fat person, they had like deep fried Oreos and like fucking gyros that were like off this fucking planet. And like real lamb meat. Like, they actually had to sit there like over a spit and just carve it the fuck off. Oh, so good. And then they had like fucking like the kosher fucking waffle fries.
Dude, now I want some waffle fries.
I remember the first time I learned what kosher was. Like, yo, I ended up getting in a fight with a falafel nigga, right? Because he's like, fucking, he's a kosher. I was like, fuck is that, man? What the fuck you talking about? He's like, you kosher, you don't know kosher, you don't know kosher? I was like, who the fuck you talking to like that? And I threw a fucking plate of waffle fries at him. I don't know shit about fucking Jewish shit. You know what I mean? I got in an argument in the Discord here, right? Read a Discord the other day about I was arguing that the Holocaust never happened.
Yep. All I know about Jews is that they hate they hate gasoline, apparently.
I don't know.
I'm not sure why.
Or some shit.
Or everything, yeah.
Yeah, they're not a fan of ovens. That's why like they boil everything in that water.
Just heating elements in general.
They're real big fans of candles, you know. That's all I really know.
It has to be like what, like 8 of them?
What?
8 candles?
15? I don't know. I don't know how many candles there are, man. Legit. I don't really know their culture. Like I don't know Muslim culture or like that. Other than the fact you get 72 virgins, you're not allowed to eat bacon. That's all I really know about Muslim. And you can have mad wives, which I'm with. You know what I'm saying? That's a proper way to have your mentality. Yo, I finally broke down and bought like fucking 3 brushes for my fucking house because my kids keep fucking hiding them. Because they hate getting, my fucking daughters hate getting their goddamn hair brushed. Probably because I'm an asshole.
I can believe that. You are an asshole.
I don't know how to, like, man, look, I'm not nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, look, y'all need to stop putting your hair in the goddamn leaves and shit outside and bringing, like, fucking the whole outside in your fucking hair indoors.
I mean, I got it. Tom's just a regular Joe with a regular job. He's a suburban knight. I don't remember the rest of the words. He likes football and porno and books about war. He's got an average wife and a nice hardwood floor. My wife, my kids, my something in my car, my feet on the table, and a Cuban cigar. But sometimes that just ain't enough to keep a man like Tom satisfied. Oh no, oh no, oh no. That's a great song. That should be your new theme song. You should just say, like, Dennis Leary, just be like, this song is about me, so please let me use this all the time.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, sitting here, man, fucking just... Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I went to... You see me in Irate fucking stream today. I wasn't in it. I was throwing super chats, like, over and over again, arguing with myself. Yo, I sent in fucking Streamlabs as I was Atema's dildo, Atema's abused fucking D-cell batteries.
I saw some of it, but not all of it. I wasn't totally paying attention. I had some other shit going on. And by other shit, I mean I was either asleep or fucking around with my Magic the Gathering collection, because I had nothing else to do, man. It sucks so bad to wake up at 12 o'clock in the morning.
Well, like, man, that's why I have, like, these hobbies of doing YouTube and shit. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm fucking, I just have nothing better to do. Like, I just, you know, fucking...
Yeah, that's why I did it, too.
Yeah, but, like, I make a video, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fucking, like, you know... Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, YouTube sometimes it's like a fucking... It's like a psychiatrist's couch for me, you know what I mean? It's like you just fucking lay down and, like, put your shit out on it, and then, like, you know, you feel better afterwards, and you can go back to sleep.
Yeah, you have all these thoughts, and you get them out.
Yeah, I can, like, get, like, a bunch of them the fuck out of my head. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, I have, like, a whole...
And you're like, and you know, in the morning, you can, like, listen to people's responses. Yeah, I get it. It's therapeutic in a way to do stuff like that.
It just helps you get shit out of your head. It's like writing, you know what I mean? Like, writing does the same thing. You start writing, you write like fucking 800 paragraphs or whatever, you know what I mean? Then, like, you just pass the fuck out. I'll be honest, like, I've written books before, and it's gotten to the point where, like, I just have, like, tears running down my fucking face while I'm writing. You know
Michael,
like, I'm like,
Michael by the way, Michael Hatfield's with us on the Dennis Leary song.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. Fucking. Well, the audio, no, what? Real rough. I don't feel like headphones. Why is the audio real rough?
One of the lines in there where I'm just like, I kind of get us being an asshole. It's like, I walk around in the summertime saying, how about that heat? I'm an asshole. Yeah, I remember, I actually... Me? Yeah, I haven't used my channel for anything since we did stuff. I did, like, a very small number of streams on the Critical Race Theory nonsense, but...
I feel like, yo, you know what the problem is with us, man? We're always, like, ahead of the game.
Uh-huh.
Like,
With the critical race theory thing, I literally was ahead of the game. Right now, it's a big fucking deal. Like, they're talking about it all the time on, like, political channels and shit like that, right? But
like
not when I started.
They questioned that general about it this week.
Yeah, and he lied about it, which is hilarious.
He lied about it, like, yo, he just fucking like, yo,
he lied about it. He lied.
Reflected.
He either lied or was ignorant. Because nobody's actually talking about, can you teach critical race theory? It's like kind of this philosophy thing that stands alone and is contentious with liberalism. Of course you can, sure. Right? Teach it like you would teach any other ideology. We're okay with that. But what they're doing is they're prescribing policies and behaviors amongst people, even in the military, based on ideas from CRT that are contentious. So that's why he was lying. That's why it was bullshit.
Let me say this, right? Because like I actually I read an article on this week, right? And it's not about like the article. Like, all right, so I read it, and what the dude said, he said basically the mentality is that critical race theory isn't, you know what I'm saying, some like fringe ideology. It's an ideology that like normal fucking Americans now think, right? Or like upstanding citizens now think, and the individuals who are actually like running things, you know what I'm saying? Like Harvard, Yale, you know, fucking DC, LA, you know what I mean? Like the centers of power and shit. You know what I mean? It's not like something outside of the norm for them. It's outside of the norm for us because we don't live in their world and we're not in power.
It's kind of true, but I don't know. Like, CRT does everything it can to obscure itself. Like, one of the most recent things that, like, it's very revealing is one of the anti-CRT YouTube stars, Karlin Borshenko. She started complaining about how people say CRT is anti-white, and it is. Like, it really is. And the only reason she was doing that is because she's one of those fucking very smart people that want to disassociate themselves from white supremacists, when in reality, like, it makes total sense that, of course, white supremacists are going to be against CRT, right? Because it is anti-white. But it doesn't mean they're the only people. It's a tiny percentage. I mean, in the doctrine, we will read it. Like, they talk about whiteness. They think the entire system of Western culture is based on white supremacy. Like, you put all those together, and you're just sitting there like, okay, yeah, it's anti-white. Like,
yeah, whiteness didn't even exist until, like, America invented it.
well, and that's funny, because CRT will say the same thing. But we have a different understanding of what that actually means in reality.
Right, like America invented whiteness, right? Like Europe still today has no idea what whiteness is, right? Unless like you're British. Like let's be honest here. The British invented whiteness, right? Because of their fucking empire and all the brown people that they ruled over, they felt that they were higher than.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things, like, did they invent it? Like, I see the argument, but you gotta really think about it historically. Like, throughout all of history, we've been very tribal. And what has our tribalism been based on? The way people that are in our general vicinity look. That's it, right? So you can say that after the Enlightenment, when we had better tools to think about these things. But in reality, through most of human history, like, your ethnicity meant a lot. Like, that was part of your identity.
Well, yes and no. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, it wasn't so much that it was the people who looked like you. It was the people who dressed like you and acted like you. Because the vast majority of fucking human civilization, like, you didn't really interact with anybody.
Well, yeah, no. Like, and I'm with you, too. Because here's the other side. This is the side that critical race theory cannot possibly understand. And so what they're called whiteness is, like, these shared values from the liberal enlightenment that are useful, that people of any color of skin can adhere to. and it makes for prosperous societies. When you say that to the critical race theorists, they're just like, "What? No, it's one of those things does not compute."
Well, let me put it this way too, though. But like, there's even with the Enlightenment liberalization, that's not true, right? Like fucking, like you don't have a shared core value from most of Europe, right? Like the vast majority of Europe, like the shared core values are different, like depending on where you are.
Yeah, no, so it is true to the extent that what was being developed amongst intellectuals was a reliance on reason and empiricism. And critical race theory rejects all of that. It does not believe in reason or empiricism. Right? That's why, like, all their claims are, they have...
I mean, is that really true when you had, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, when you had a lot of, okay, so, I read something this week that was talking about how, well, actually, I was listening to something this week that was talking about how, like, the original fucking libertarianism, right, was really, based off of, like, fucking the rulership of the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church had no government standing. There was never a government. And so, like, when you had kings and shit, like, the vast majority of people just ran their shit the way they ran shit. Like, there was no organization until, like, the fucking 1700s as a whole, right? And so I forget where I fucking started this spiel at and shit, but like a lot of Europe was ruled over like by no one as far as shit was really concerned. It was just, you know what I'm saying, like the church had, you know what I mean, like fucking monasteries in places, or you know what I'm saying, like local churches that you checked in with, but that was it. You know what I mean? And like fucking that was as far as things really went. I'll be honest, my brain went derailed. I have no idea where the fuck I started off with this conversation.
Yep. You actually kind of lost me. Like, I was with you for a second. It was like, I kind of get it.
Where did you leave off at?
Well, I was just talking about how, like, liberalism was the Enlightenment value system, right? That we judge people as individuals, and you're like, well, the Catholic Church actually adopted this, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't. Funny enough, I'm not surprised that when it was popular, the Catholic Church would do something, because it has always been one of the most like amorphous ideologies you can think of.
Yeah, like
because it's always wanted to have its seat at the table. So whatever the common ideology is in the West, the Catholic Church adopts it.
Well, all right. So the Enlightenment values of liberalism really didn't come to be until like the 1700s, right?
But that's absolutely true.
It really came to be with
Machiavelli,
bureaucracies.
Oh well, yeah, I get that with the bureaucracies, but
right. I mean,
they wanted to limit it, but it was also a very Machiavellian ideology, which is what a lot of people a lot of people like don't understand how Machiavelli was actually the godfather of liberalism. Because was he a liberal? No, but he was the first people to think of things in the same terms of individuals and the power structures that governments versus people command.
Well, John Adams, believe it or not, was the only founding father, though not the only one. Well, he was the only founding father who admitted, right, that, you know what I'm saying, he took points from Machiavelli, right? But like Jefferson was well read on fucking Machiavelli, the prince.
All of them are. Like, there's plenty of people like, I've talked about it before, the Academic Agent. I watched a lot of his videos and streams, but he did a really good breakdown on the history of liberalism. And, like, the only thing CRT has right is, like, yeah, it did originate from a white society, but it just kind of turns out that white Western civilization was just ahead of the times on a lot of things during that period. So
it had competition. That's really what it was. White civilization had competition. Europeans had competition amongst themselves. Right? That's just the reality of it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you have all those competing countries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
God, like, and this is a tangent, but what CRT like just doesn't understand is that when you go back to like Western civilization and you talk about white people, like it's not like it's ever talked about as some monolithic group. In fact, in Europe, like English people identify themselves as English, distinctly different from the French.
Like, you know, like everybody, you know, like, you know, I was watching Top Gear here recently, and like fucking they redid an old fucking goddamn, what the fuck was this fucking car? Shit, Lancia. They redid an old Lancia car, right? And they had the dude who built it, right? He was from like Southern Italy. He's like, he looked like me, fucking dark like I am, that type of shit, right? And he stood here and fucking like, he goes, because I had a conversation with this guy, right? Like in his British, like I had a conversation. I can't do the fucking accent with this dude, and apparently he's full Italian, right? And like fucking, like the guy goes, you know, I put those buttons there because it look good. You know, I like the way it looks, right? He said, why is this welded like this? He goes, it's welding porn. You know, it's supposed to look good. He said, what do you think of the back of this car? He goes, it's a nice ass. Right? Like, he said the spoiler right there, that's like the panties that come out of it's like a thong that comes out of the top of the jeans, right? And he's distinctly Italian, right? It's an Italian thing. And then you have people who are distinctly fucking Germanic. You have people who, like, you know, they're distinctly British, and they're not the same. Like, for fuck's sake, most are. You have, I want to say, probably 4 countries that go back before the 1800s in Europe as a whole, in the entire fucking continent. Like, the rest of these countries weren't even fucking countries until like the 18 fucking 60s, 70s, and 80s and shit.
Yep. I mean, you're right. Like, you learn that. What's fucked up is, like, you learn all about this, at least at our age. Like, that was 7th grade for you, right? Where you learned about modern or Western civilization, right? Like, I think that was for me.
They never taught anything about this to us.
I learned it in like 7th grade. No, all right, no, it was 8th grade, right? Where we talked about like all the different empires that existed. And those empires covered, like, if you like even go back way back to the Greeks, how like the areas they covered in the other areas that existed. And but you're right, it wasn't until about like, you know, the 1600s where like these places started being like, okay, well, this is our country, like we're gonna hold to that. Maybe even more like the 17 and 1800s for a lot of them.
Well, like, you know, Italy and Germany, and I'm trying to think here, Italy, Germany.
Well, Italy and Germany were the last 2 countries, like during World War II, to try to dominate the world using imperialism, and they got pushed back on, and that was the end of imperialism, proper, not.
So, Italy, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, fucking trying to think here, the Czech Republic, Ukraine, like all these places didn't fucking exist.
I'm actually wrong. I'm actually I'm actually wrong still, because I'm talking about imperialism. Russia didn't get rid of imperialism until like, what was it, like the 1980s?
What do you mean imperialism?
It's the conquest over territory, right?
Well, Russia's still trying to do conquest over territory today.
Yeah, I know they are, but like the fall of the Soviet Union, right? That's what created all these states where there's conflicts. Amazingly enough, like Georgia, where half the population thinks they're independent of Georgia, and the other half that's closer to the Russian border thinks they're Russian.
Well, again, like, this is the thing with these countries, is that they're not really countries as in general, right? It's like Iraq and Afghanistan and fucking Iran and Libya and all this shit, right? Like they never were countries. right? Like Africa, like the vast majority of countries in Africa were never countries before like they got divided up. You know what I mean? During like fucking Britain's rule and shit. You know?
I've been thinking a lot lately just because of Black Lives Matter shit just gets thrown in your face. And because of that, all of this, like, God, what did they call it whenever they made up the holiday of Kwanzaa? Afrocentrism, right? So you have Afrocentrism being, like, really popular again. And I'm just looking at countries in Africa, and I was like, nobody that lives in America would possibly want to actually go to any state in Africa right now. Like, I can't think of a single one that would be beneficial to anybody, even black people, that would give them a better quality of life to live there.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. So I think that Liberia, right, the blacks in Liberia or the blacks in America would do well in Liberia because they always have, right? Like when we sent something like, I don't know, 20,000 or 30,000 blacks back to fucking Liberia, well, back to Africa, to Liberia during, you know what I'm saying, the lead up to the Civil War. And like they went there, they ended up inside of like a generation running that entire fucking country up until the fucking 2000s.
I don't know. I'd have to look a little further into it, but at least from what I understand, is like Liberia still sucks. Like it's barely better than El Salvador even today.
I mean, like as far as like quality of life is concerned, like, you know, like technical ability and all that type of bullshit, like, you know, no, you know what I'm saying? It's nowhere near a first world country. But on the same point, you know what I mean? Like if they want to,
yeah, all you're saying is it's not as bad as the actual countries in Africa, which I can't think of a single one where I'd want to live in.
No. There's a reason why Elon Musk lives here and hasn't put in like a factory in fucking South Africa, you know? Like, and that's where he's from. You know,
well, it's another one of those things where, like, you know, I heard the story about Nelson Mandela, was all about it, but then I started seeing some more facts, and it was like, the Dutch settlers just kind of showed up, and nobody was using that land, because, what was that African tribe? The Zulu? They already killed all the people that were inhabiting that area, and they left. So the Dutch showed up, there was nobody there. And they're like, alright, well, there's nobody here, so we're going to make some settlements.
Well, technically, like what happened was there was already a port there to begin with, right? But the port was run by the Muslims, and like fucking basically the fucking Dutch ran the fucking Muslims the fuck out of there. It's kind of the deal, right? But like it had literally nothing. Like it was like part of fucking, you know, I mean, the Persian, like because the Persians were fucking dealing with Africa long before, you know what I'm saying, fucking the Europeans did.
Yeah, fair. And like the only point I was really trying to get at is like shit's a lot more complicated than some white people landed on the shores of Africa and decided to take it over. It's like that's not what happened. Like they just showed up, there was nobody there, and they settled.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, like what originally happened is like fucking trade happened, and you know, like they just didn't, like they were selling fucking rubber and other goods or whatever the case is, and like they decided to sell the land, you know what I mean, after like white people asked them to sell, whatever Europeans were, you know what I mean, asked them to sell the fucking land to them so they could grow rubber trees, and you know, they gave them fucking slaves, you know what I'm saying? Like they fucking bought slaves off the fucking people in Africa to work the fucking rubber tree fucking fields. And, you know, they built infrastructure and all this type of shit, and they ended up running things. It was a natural progression of shit. It was not, you know what I'm saying, something like, oh, we're just going to go here and, like, fucking kill everybody.
God.
That was never the fucking situation.
Yeah, amazingly enough, like, it never was the slavery. It's amazing how, even still, so I went through, like, you know who Tom Woods is, right?
Yeah.
I was going through, and like some people were talking about how, like on the Juneteenth thing, and it was mostly just people virtue signaling about how, hey, well, it was the day that we actually ended slavery in the United States.
I've never like I have no idea what the fucking Juneteenth is.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, Juneteenth, sometime 1800, slavery was officially outlawed in the United States. So maybe there's an argument for making that to be a historical holiday. I'm fine with it. If you're looking at it in that lens, right? Because slavery is bad. Everybody agrees slavery is bad. In fact, nobody in 2021 is brave by saying, "Hey, everybody, I'm against slavery." Nobody is, cause like that's everybody, right? But back in 1850, that was a real thing. That like, if you said you were against slavery, you were the extremist, right? Like everybody agreed that being a slave sucked, but nobody disagreed that a person could possibly be a slave.
No. No.
And I don't say nobody, but I'm saying that was a small percentage. Like if
it was not a small percentage, right? And that's the thing is like that's what a lot of motherfuckers forget. Like legitimately. Like,
okay. Hold on.
There's a reason why like a lot of the states didn't have slavery, right?
Hold on. Like I agree that it wasn't as small of a percentage as I think. But it wasn't for this righteous cause with the idea that black people should have the same rights as the white people.
Well, no,
like, a lot of it was, we don't want them competing with our labor.
Well, no. Well, there's that. But, like, there's also, well, like, that was the commoners' mentality, right? And that's why, like, you know, like, the back to fucking, you know, I mean, Africa fucking shit, you know what I'm saying? Took a, you know, was a movement back then, too.
It's also why you can't say that, like, Northern Union soldiers were just like, slavery is such a bad thing, which is why I joined the war against the South. That's completely not true.
Thomas Jefferson, in the original fucking Declaration of Independence, wrote a scathing fucking, like, fucking piece about fucking how bad slavery is.
He wasn't the only one. Like, of course, like, anybody that knows, like, the reality of American history was, like, this country was founded on Enlightenment ideas. Slavery, amongst, especially, like, the greatest thinkers of the founding, was a bad thing to them. But the country would never have been established if we would have just said, and no slavery is going to be allowed. Because you already had, like, a great swath of the population where they thought that slavery was helping them economically, which I still say it wasn't.
Here's the problem, right? This is the big problem, is that the original Continental Congress that was set up in the Sons of Liberty, you know what I mean? Like, nobody actually knows who the fuck those people are. Right? They're not the motherfuckers who, like, you think they are. It isn't Jefferson and, you know what I mean, fucking Adams and, you know, fucking Franklin and Washington and, you know what I mean, all these people. It wasn't even the fucking deal at all, like, in any way, right? The motherfuckers who wrote the Articles of Confederation, right, were somebody else the fuck completely. You know what I mean? And it was a whole different fucking thing. Like, they were still trying to, like, be British citizens and shit and all this type of nonsense. Like, it was a whole different animal, right? Like, like, they burnt down the fucking governor of Massachusetts' fucking house, right? Like, there's a lot of parts of American history that are just airbrushed the fuck out. Like, you know, Abraham Lincoln had fucking brown shirts.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
has any idea about this.
I don't disagree. I mean, like, even Abraham Lincoln. So I'm not gonna say, like, there's not evidence to support that Lincoln secretly just wanted to end slavery. But if you look at all his words around the Civil War as time went by, like, it wasn't until the French got involved, which were already for ending slavery, that Lincoln's rhetoric started being anti-slavery.
Well,
and even then, he could have never gotten support from the North if he just said, well, we gotta go fight the South now because they have slaves. Like, nobody would have signed up for that. Because even in the North, like, people were like, I'm not gonna sit there and fight on behalf of them damn Negroes.
Well, I like what Mencius Mobug says about this, fucking Curtis Sherman. Like, what he says about this is that we've had 3 periods in American history where we've had kings, right? And it was George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and fucking FDR, right, were the 3 times where we had kings in America, right? Where literally like the executive power was used executive, right? Where like there was none of this bullshit dealing with Congress. There was no fucking, nonsense of worrying about what the fucking Supreme Court was gonna say. You know what I mean? It was none of this fucking nonsense, right? It was just, and that's why like they want Biden to be a new FDR because like they want him to be like an executive. They want him to run shit through like fucking FDR did. And like Lincoln legitimately, like, once the Civil War started, right, and he got executive action through, the War Powers Act and all these type of things, he literally fucking just started doing what he wanted to fucking do in the first fucking, and remade America into a different nation than what it was when it fucking started off in the Civil War. That's really what the fuck happened as a whole, and I like that mentality. It's something that like a lot of individuals don't understand. Any arguments there?
No, I have no argument.
Huh?
Tom Pino is right once again.
Am I right or am I wrong? Right, like fucking, like I'm, like the whole critical race theory nonsense, right? I like legitimately like.
It's important, but it's the newest push for Marxism.
Again, like I feel like we are fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I put this? I feel like you're, like just you're trying to hold back the fucking ocean with a push broom. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you should kill the ocean. Like, legitimately, like we need to have a conversation about what the fucking structure it is. This is where that political cartography thing comes in with my channel. I'm like, look, here's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's goddamn fucking colleges and, you know what I'm saying, the media. Right?
Unfortunately, critical theory is not just critical race theory. Like, it's a way of looking at the world. It's the same shit that is making us think that we should allow our 7-year-old children to transition to other sexes, right? Like, it's trying to break down all the things we know about objective reality and turn it into this oppressor versus oppressed class, which is completely based on race. We're seeing that happen in front of our eyes, and we should be opposed to it at every fucking step. Which is why it's important to me, it's interesting to me, and, Tom, I think you agree, like, even if you think, like, oh, maybe, critical race theory is not that big of a deal because it's not that popular.
No, it's not that. It's not that, right? It's not that at all, right? What I'm saying is legitimately, right, is that the power in this country, right, is the issue.
Yeah, well, I've talked about this on my channel like plenty of times, or like with Irate plenty of times. Is you have your people that are just your power grabbers that are using this to their advantage. And I think that's most of the Democratic Party. I want to be real honest. Like that's what I believe. But then you also have other people that they're your bishops. They truly believe this, and then you have your acolytes below that, which they only buy into it because they've been indoctrinated into thinking that this is the right way of thinking, and they've never thought anywhere beyond what CRT has to say about any issue.
Like, I really think you need to like fucking go and listen to or read Unqualified Reservations, like on some real shit.
Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, I probably should, to be honest, but that's what's going on. I mean, that's my problem. Well, I understand part of what's going on, and actually, I'm going to say the same thing back to you. Like, I don't think you understand how bad CRT actually is to society.
Oh no, I get it completely. I get it. I fucking like, dude. I fully understand like exactly what you're saying. It's like MMT. It's fucking, like it's something that's gonna completely fuck the Great Reset. It's gonna completely fuck us. But my problem is that this will not end until we address where it's coming from. That's my issue.
I mean, I get that, and I think that like a reasonable conversations based on like I'm being so broad, but like enlightenment ideas of what reason actually is and what empirical evidence actually is better suited to solve it. And you're not going to disagree with me here, right? So you grew up in those communities, like you know exactly what's fucking happening, right?
Yes.
And with CRT, they're just saying like it's some big form of white supremacy that we can blame these actions on. And at no point could CRT ever say, like, the way we solve the violence in this community is for the community to actually address the fact they have a violence problem and try to solve it themselves. Like, it gives no agency to individuals or communities as far as the problems that they have. And
okay.
Am I wrong here? Like, do you think it could happen? Like, if you empowered these communities to be like, you know what, fuck it, we don't. Now, granted, it requires the community to say, like the majority of the community to say, we don't want this anymore happening in our community, and we are going to stand up to it. Right?
All right,
but without that, there's no solution. Like if they don't care, they don't want to stand up to it, then it's going to happen in that community, no matter what any government policy does. And CRT certainly cannot solve it.
Okay. Here's the mentality. Okay. There's a reason why, like, we can't beat climate change, right? As an ideology. Right? It could be as wrong can be. It doesn't matter. Right? The problem is that the idea, right, is powerful because the idea allows them to have a way to perform action. Right? The idea itself is an actionable idea. That's the thing with critical race theory, right? Critical race theory allows the federal government to interfere inside of shit that it ought not to interfere in. So therefore, it attracts power and it attracts individuals who want to do things.
Well, once again, almost every time me and you argue, we're not arguing against each other at all when you say that. Like, I agree completely. That's what it does, because it makes it so if you disagree with this, like, they're just gonna call you like you're a fucking racist, you don't understand it. I don't know, many other ad hominems, right? So like it skips the requirement for being like, this is the empirical results we expect from implementing these policies, which is not new for government, which is very true. Right, like we expect that. Like you can play on people's emotions and get policies passed and make them not reflect the results that anybody that voted for the policies actually would want. In fact, what they're going to do is they're going to lie. They're going to be like, "Hey, look at this graph." It's going to be some stupid shit like black education standards have gone up over time. And they're going to hide the fact that, like, it slowed down after this policy was implemented.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing, right? It's kind of like when FDR came to power, right? And he started putting in all these fucking, like, whatevers, right? Before he came to power, like, you had these county governments, you know what I mean? Like, they knew all their constituents, and the constituents were, like, you know what I'm saying, like, politically active. I mean, they voted people out they didn't like, and I'm saying they kept people they did. They conversated. Everybody knew everybody, right? And after they passed all these like farm bills and farm subsidies and things of this nature, right? They ended up having the federal government acting inside of the fucking places where the county government used to act and giving everybody checks, right? Every time they had a fucking problem. And it would like flood the area with, you know what I'm saying, like fucking federal agents and shit. You know what I mean, trying to investigate this matter. And so this is what I'm saying about actionable ideologies, right? It's the same thing with critical race theory, right? Instead of them not having as much power as they have now and getting the fuck out of black families and getting the fuck out of black communities and you know what I'm saying, like they're not enforcing all these federal fucking bureaucracy laws on fucking, you know what I mean, in neighborhoods that should be left the fuck alone. Because like I know, like I don't know if I've told you my opinion on how like we solve a lot of these problems, right? Is that
you've said it a million times.
we go well, it's not just that, we go backwards though, right? In a lot of our ideologies. Where like, you know, you have a city like Detroit and a city like Camden and a city like, you know, fucking fucking Minneapolis, a city, you know what I'm saying, like fucking Chicago, a city like, you know, fucking Columbus, whatever, right? Cincinnati, Toledo, pick one that was industrialized and now fell to shit. What you do is you fucking get rid of all those agencies and all the shit that came with being middle class and you go backwards, right? You get rid of all the fucking taxes that you put into place when individuals were prosperous because they can't afford them now. Right, you get rid of fucking building codes. You get rid of fucking, you know what I'm saying, you know, I mean, like fucking zoning laws. You get rid of fucking, you know what I'm saying, like fucking whatchamacallits, other permits and shit. Right.
Yes.
You let these
yes. Amen.
Up, right. You build themselves the fuck up. You know what I mean, and like rebuild their fucking community from the ground up. You stop fucking giving out, you know what I'm saying, welfare to motherfuckers, and you just go, here, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you fucking take that house, you fix it up. We're not going to come in and inspect it. You know what I mean? You do what you have to do to take care of your fucking family. We're not going to interfere. That's how you solve the fucking problem. But we're not
all right.
To have this conversation.
Yo, Tom, I'm going to end the stream because I'm actually tired again, which is amazing. It's only 5 a.m. here, but I'm gonna go to bed. And also, everything you just said, like, it goes back to when we stream together. We basically agree on like almost everything. We have these nuanced opinions, like, but everything you just said, like, I agree with. Like, I have no argument against. Like, what we were arguing about earlier was, I mean, it was really just like the difference between, do you pronounce it potato or potato?
Right. I mean, the problem again. Like, my problem is we're not addressing the real problem, which is, you know what I'm saying, Ivy League schools and motherfucking the goddamn media.
We actually we actually somewhat disagree. Where, and I actually don't think we disagree. I think like you agree to an extent, but you're putting the blame higher in order to the media and the Ivy League than I am this ideology that's being popularized.
That's where the fucking ideology comes from.
Well, no, like, I get it. So it's a circular argument, but it's the same thing.
Yo, but you have to cut the fucking head off the fucking snake. You cannot continue to just let these motherfuckers, like, yo, because what they're doing is they're fucking feeding. Like, it's really simple, right? It's a basic premise. It's the fucking bureaucracy. It's the end result of a managerial revolution, right? It's these motherfuckers get fucking trained in these Ivy League schools, and they go in the fucking media, or they go in the fucking government, right? And they fucking continue their fucking.
God damn it! I fucking agree. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna schedule for the time for, like, I know you and Tim don't get along. Let's I'm gonna bring you in. Like, we're gonna sit there and talk about like what's going on with this critical race theory shit. Not even critical race theory, critical theory shit. Because critical race theory is like just part of what is going on. Like, critical theory is what I started talking about. I didn't start talking about critical race theory. I was like, oh my god, like, this is really this origins of this fucking nonsense where we think that fucking 9-year-olds should be able to transition and choose their sex and have surgery and things like that. I was like, this shit's fucking bonkers.
Well, like, are you doing your shit tomorrow?
I am doing it tomorrow. We're going to be talking tomorrow about one of the people that, like, rose to fame being an anti-CRT grifter, right? And she got really fucking nuts about it. God, one of the biggest things is, like, Tom P., if I asked you this question, are the people that are promoting critical race theorist bullshit promoting anti-white nonsense too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this person that, like, rose to fame for trying to debunk critical race theory was, like, it's not really anti-white. It's anti-every race, and the only people that are going to say it's anti-white are white nationalists or white supremacists. And I'm just like, okay, so to be real here, of course, white supremacists, white nationalists, whatever, they're going to be against that. In fact, they were the first people to kind of pick up on this ideology becoming popularized, because guess what? They're pro-white identitarian groups. It's a very small percentage of people. It doesn't change the fact that critical race theory is anti-white, and she so wants to disassociate herself with these white nationalist type people that she's like trying to say critical race theory is not anti-white. And I'm like, that's just fucking stupid. That's just fucking stupid.
Like, yo, this is all right. So I have some required reading for you, right? I have some shit that you need. All right, on my channel, I just put up a video about why the bums always lose.
Just message me everything you want to see. I gotta get out of here, dude. I am a little drunk, and it's 4:30 in the morning, which is like usually 2 hours before I wake up for work. So I gotta get out of here, but I'll talk to you soon.
Reading, right? You know what I mean? Legitimately, like, yo, because like it's fucking important that you read and understand like exactly what the fuck is going on, because it's you know, it's fucking, you have to get down to the bottom of everything legitimately and understand like what exactly is going on, because like we can't keep holding on and thinking that we can defeat ideologies, because we can't. You can't win arguments with dumb people.
I'm probably not going to disagree, but